Billy, we've obviously got a lot of questions that are put into the forum.
Yep.
Unfortunately, obviously, as much as we'd love to, we can't answer them all because we'd be here for about 200 or 300 years.
Well, I'm not busy.
Well, you'd find a way. But we decided, I had a wee look through the forum and I picked up some questions and I'm wondering if you've got the time just to answer them just now.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. The first one is from Lou Pippin, and her question was...
Is that a real name?
I think it is a real name. I think it's a given name.
Great.
A given name. She was wondering, with all the amazing Scottish bands like Travis and Danish Fan Club, Trash Can Snatchers, she was just wondering if which one of those were your favourites?
All right. Well, yeah, there's some great Scottish bands. I was lucky enough to meet the bass player of Travis at the world premiere in London, who was a great guy, really good fun. We had quite a long chat, and real laugh, because Travis had been going for years before real earthly feel about them. They really kind of basically did their apprenticeship, playing in pubs and stuff, and yeah, he seemed like a great guy, and I love their stuff. I think the new album's brilliant. The old album, in fact, we were filming Lord of the Rings and doing some scenes in a place called Paradise, which is about a 40-minute drive from Queenstown in the South Island, which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's aptly named because, Paradise, it's really beautiful, and Queenstown was great. But a lot of the scenes was just myself and Dom, and our driver would pick us up, and on the way out we only had one tape, which was Travis's not first album, the second one, the big one, Invisible Band, I think it was.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Is it? What's the second one then? What's the kind of...
It's the first big one. It's the nice one.
Yeah, whatever it was called. Anyway, brilliant album, and we got to know it so well, except for The Man Who, and it got to the point that we used to just sing all the words. Me and Dom and the driver as well. We'd all be singing all the way there and all the way back, and it was the only album we listened to. And then also like bands like you mentioned Teenage Fan Club, bands like that, and BMX Bandits, and the Dragon. They were all the same sort of guys. They all came from a place called Bell, and I knew them all, and we were all kind of playing in bands at the same time. And the strange thing is, they all had some level of success, except for my band, which did
nothing. What was your band called?
Foreign Country
at
the time, and which was quite.
So they all made it, and you were.
We were left behind.
Doing bar mitzvahs and
exactly.
and weddings.
And weddings. Yeah.
And I mean, what kind of music generally now do you like?
Oh,
Where to start?
There's so much different stuff. I mean, I think I might have mentioned before that one of the great things of the kind of makeup and feet thing of becoming a hobbit, for a long time, one of the things we used to do was introduce each other to our favourite musics. So, Elijah would play the Smashing Pumpkins, and Dom would play Stone Roses, and I'd come in with Divine Comedy or something. So we all get introduced into each other's musics, and which was great, because now bands like Smashing Pumpkins I think are fantastic, and but at the moment what I listen to, I thought the Weezer album was great. Divine Comedy, always think they're fantastic. The Beatles, I love the Beatles. There was so many different things. Badly Drawn Boy, I think, was a fantastic album. Yeah, I'll basically listen to anything if it's good. It's good. I don't subscribe to any sort of scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not at all. Thank you, Lou Pippin.
Nilly has asked what made you start your martial arts, because obviously I think it's on the bio page that you've.
All right. Yeah.
That you mentioned that, and also when did you start, and did it help in the filming of the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Yeah, I started martial arts because I was getting bullied. No, that's not true.
By me.
By Stuart
By
from BMG. No, I just I was always interested in martial arts, and I I always like to have some sort of kind of keep fit, or fitness routine, whatever that may be, playing football or playing badminton, whatever it is. I always like to be doing something because it just makes me feel better. Yeah, to feel as though I'm kind of slightly fit in some way. And I was always interested in martial arts, and I read about Jeet Kune Do, which is an art that Bruce Lee started, because arts are normally quite secretive in who they'll teach their art to, especially in Easton. And what Bruce Lee did was he shared his art with people to learn from their arts, and through that he took what he thought was the best from each art and made it into Jeet Kune Do. So I started that years ago, and I get very, very interested in it for a long time. And then once my career meant that I was travelling quite a lot, I didn't really have the time to do it anymore. So I still kind of train myself sometimes, and also with a friend of mine, we'll still kind of get the pads out and kick and punch for a bit and do these kind of things. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic art, and it's a great way to get fit as well, and feel good.
So was it an advantage when you came to do the filming?
Well, it's actually a strange thing. It's funny because I've also fenced. I used to foil fence and épée fence, and I did a few competitions in that as well. So I used to enjoy that. And the strange thing is, from playing a Hobbit and especially playing Pippin, is you don't want to be too good. You don't want to be a good swordsman. So it was kind of like, it was handy to know about sword fencing so that you could kind of be not very good at it. Because it was nice to kind of know how a sword works, so that you probably notice, if not in the first movie, then in the other two, that there's a lot of two-handed sword play from the Hobbits and Pippin. Um, because if you think, they're very small people trying to stop an attack from an urukai, so physically you have to be real about that, and also how they use their bodies. So they'll step away from a blade rather than trying to parry it. So I suppose in a strange way it did help. The martial arts did, because of the movement and how you use your body. But it was quite difficult and strange to try to make yourself worse than you are.
So you had to unlearn it?
Well, yeah, or take your knowledge of swords and how the body works into a different kind of way of thinking, yeah. Yeah, because the hobbits should be fast on their feet and should look like they're a step ahead, because they're that sort of creature. But yeah, they shouldn't look like Aragorn when they sword fence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
so all that was taken into account.
Thank you, Neely.
Not talk.
Pippin's Ickle Lady, which is definitely her real name, and she gets into all sorts of trouble at school. Was wondering what your favourite film is of all time, which is quite a question.
Yeah. Well, I think the best way to answer these questions is to take the one that shoots into your mind at that moment and not think about it. And from hearing it there, I thought Gregory's Girl, which is a Bill Forsyth movie, which I totally love. I just think I love Bill Forsyth's work. I love Local Hero, and all his movies are incredible. And I was lucky enough to get to meet him when he was making Gregory's Girl 2, or Gregory's Two Girls, where I wasn't up for a part or anything, but I was asked to come in and help them find the main girl for it. So I read the kind of other part just so that they had, and I jumped at the chance to get to meet Bill Forsyth, who didn't disappoint at all. He's just an incredible man with a great sense of humour and a great eye for life. And I think Gregory's Girl has all that. I think it taps into being a teenager more than any film that I'd ever seen. So I'd say Gregory's Girl is my favourite film of all time.
And it has Chick Murray in it.
And it has Chick
Murray
Murray,
in it.
the god that is
Chick
Chick
Murray.
Murray.
And if you don't know who he is, find out.
Exactly.
And also, Pippin's Ickle Lady was asking who your cinematic hero is,
Right.
which is
Well,
another
that's
small question.
another, and the one that jumps in there, and it's not cinematic as yet, but it should be, is I think Homer Simpson has to be the greatest character invented in the last 10 years.
A man I model myself on, Billy.
And you do a wonderful job.
Thank you very much. No, he is fantastic.
He's just it's just a fantastic character. It's great when someone just comes up with something like that it just makes you smile every time you see it. And Homer Simpson is just the best.
Thank you, Pippin's Ickle Lady.
Thank you.
What a great name it is. How do you say this? What?
I would say that said Garfamal.
Garfamal.
I'm hoping that's not from Lord of the Rings, otherwise I've just made myself look ignorant.
It's not now.
Alright.
Trust me, it's not. It's but she asks what do you think basically of the website? I mean, obviously I'm kind of interested in that as well, but I mean,
Yeah.
the site's now been running for just over 3 months, and you and I worked long and hard to try and make it what it is today, and the rest of the guys
You worked
as well.
harder than me, I think.
Well, yes. Yes, I did. No two ways about it. But just I mean, obviously, been out for 3 months. It's been very successful from a statistical point of view. But I mean, what are your kind of views on it after seeing it grow and grow in a lot of ways over the last few months?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a strange thing because I'm not technically very good at kind of computers and things like that. But anytime I've come onto the site, I really like what strikes me first is the feel of the people who are on it, and at the chat part or in the forum, and it feels like people are getting to know each other and using it not only as a kind of Billy Boyd site that makes me feel a bit kind of embarrassed about having a kind of site kind of thing, but it feels good that these people are everyone's relating to each other and becoming friends, and it feels like a really kind of good place to be. And in a more business side, it's great that also people who I've spoke to, journalists, etc., who use it in a kind of different way as well. So for me, it's the perfect place. And also speaking to people like Elijah and Dom who love it and kind of they've kind of enjoyed being on as well.
We've whipped their ass. I love it. They wish they had one. The site's been very, very successful, and it's been very successful mainly because of the people who are in it, rather than the work that we have done. I mean, we do both work very hard to make sure that it's as good as we can make it, but that's also a lot to do with the feedback from the people who have used it, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank them.
Yeah, and I'd love to thank them as well. And what I love is the different layers. As I say, there's people who use it to speak to their friends and stuff, and the internet just totally amazes me that I can write something here and someone in Kansas will read it. It totally blows my mind, and I love how it's used in all different kind of levels. So someone can just come on to find out a fact, like a journalist, or someone can visit once just to say, I wonder what Billy's up to just now, or like I say, people can come on and chat to each other. I love that there's all the different levels, and I love the sense of humour. If you can't laugh in life, then what's the use?
Billy, at that, I think we should leave it. Thank you again for your time.
Hey, thank you.